This is Ayomide Adebayo. For over 5 years now, Ayomide has been a practicing healthcare professional in Lagos State, Nigeria. However, this has not always been the case. 15 years ago, no one would have thought that Ayomide would become even a fraction of who he is today. Why? Because he was a confused and rebellious teenager. To many, Ayomide was hopeless.
I wasn't always this way. I was a teenager too, and like many teenagers, I had my issues. I struggled a lot with low self-esteem. I was very shy, which wasn't helped by the fact that I was a bit of a nerd. I had anger issues, especially against my dad, which made me not very comfortable with dealing with people who were in authority. I got into fights a couple of times. On the outside, I looked okay to people because I was doing well in school, but emotionally inside, there was a turmoil.
But then, a group of people took special interest in Ayomide.
And then I met Solid Foundation Ministry. Getting to know the Solid Foundation Ministry was an amazing experience. It was life-changing. I'll never forget my first camp. I'd been to church camp before, it was boring. Solid Foundation was everything but that. It was exciting, it was fun. And at the same time, it was meaningful, it was spiritual. You felt like you connected with God, you made friends. It helped me come out of my shell. I talked to a girl for the first time on camp. Not my first camp, but one of my later camps, because I kept coming back every year. It was on camp that I got to learn about something that really helped me with my parents. I grew up not hugging my parents, and because of Solid showed me that you could take the initiative to fix your relationship with your parents. You didn't have to wait for them to do it, and that's what I did, and that really changed a lot of things.
The Solid Foundation Ministry is a faith-based organization that for over 25 years has committed itself to the service of teenagers.
Our vision is to be the foremost resource provider and reference point in teenage and youth development in Nigeria and beyond. And this is exactly what informed our training program.
Under the leadership of Brother Wola Ojo and his team, for 25 years, the Solid Foundation Ministry has run with the mission to provide an enabling environment for teenagers and other young people to maximize their potentials and to reach their goals.
I got to work with we call it secondary school class at Chapel of the Lily Cross. I started doing a lot of stuff with those young boys, and I discovered that they actually were doing a lot. They were responding a lot better with showing them films and making them having interactive talks rather than and doing more with getting them to give feedback, exploring their thoughts on all the things we teach them from the scriptures. I also, at the same time, volunteered with the Children Evangelism Ministry, and we, at a point with the coordinator of the ministry in Lagos State, decided that let's do something, let's begin to outreach teenagers, at least those between ages 13 and 15. Let's do a program for them. This thought came up in 1990. Incidentally, we had a lady who came from the United States who volunteered with CM at the point, who had actually had some stint with teenagers. And she got wind of the project. And said, oh, let's talk about this. She had some books and some materials. And so she took us through physical characteristics of young people, what they like, and what they don't like. And now we can reach them with scripture. So with that, we decided to do a program, a camp, we call it camp at that time, to outreach teenagers, young people.
Teenagers are not adults and they are not children. They are in the transition stage of life. And as a result of that, they are faced with quite a number of challenges because of that stage of their life. They are, in a way we can say they are legally confused, and and as a result of that, adults kind of misunderstand them, and they see many of the actions as being rude, or that they have nonchalant attitude and as such. Solid Foundation Ministry, that's where we step in. We've come a long way to understand these people. We've gone to understand how they reason, how they think, and to give a helping hand in leading them as adults. Like I said earlier on, they are adults in waiting, they are adults in training. As a result, they need someone to help them get to that adulthood, without any kind of age. So that's where we come in as Solid to help them to get there. And also, if you realize that teenagers are full of potentials, they're quite daring and they are very energetic. And God actually depended on them a lot. When you go through the Bible, when you look at people like David, who took up Goliath, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, you look at Joseph, even Mary, the mother of Jesus. And the same potential we found in these people are still present in our teenagers today. And that's where Solid comes so that we can help them tap into this potential and then lead them and help them to discover themselves. Because one area they also have issues is the area of identity. They want to know who they are. They don't really know who they are. So Solid Foundation Ministry, with our knowledge, help them to discover who they are, to let them realize their potentials, and to help them know that God is actually depending on them, and they can do it, they can make it, and they can actually fulfill their potentials. Solid Foundation Ministry is volunteers driven. In fact, our ministry is all about our volunteers. We have volunteers that are very, very passionate about young people. Volunteers that love God, love young people, and love to have fun. Our volunteers are professionals as well as students. Professionals that you could term as being very busy. We have doctors, lawyers, engineers, human resource personnel, architects, just name it, and students. And these people, out of their busy schedule, they have found time to reach out to the young people. We meet twice a month, vigils, every third Friday, last Sunday meeting, and when we're preparing for camp, we meet every Friday, every Sunday for at least 2 months. And these people are there, giving of their money, their time, and everything. And out of our volunteers also, we constitute board of trustees that give direction spiritually, administration in every wise to the ministry.
Solid, over the last 5 to 6 years, has helped me to reach out to, in fact, I'm not sure I can even quantify it now, like a number of teenagers. And the joy in it is seeing your teenagers grow out to be better people, seeing your teenagers fulfilling their dreams, and knowing that you were a part of that journey. Solid has helped me do that, and has also helped me interact with teenagers and people to know and understand them better, to be able to dig deep into finding out what the root cause of certain things are, and helping to reach out and be a listening ear for people as well. Solid is something that I find not just pleasure but fulfillment from. It's something I would encourage everyone to do. I have a day job, which is stressful enough, but I always have time for Solid and always put in my best as well. It's going to be a great journey, I know, if you decide to come join Solid.
And I tell you, our volunteers, with a bold smile on my face, I boldly declare that they're the best in the world. Solid Foundation volunteers are the best in the world. You can't find such people elsewhere, and I'm so glad to be one of them. Our mission as a ministry is to provide an enabling environment for these young people to grow and to actually, like I said earlier on, maximize their potentials. And one of the ways of doing that is organizing annual camp. And we've done that for 24 years. What we do is we get our volunteers together. We have at least minimum of 2 months training, getting 2 months training where we do our Bible study. We do quite a number of programs through which we can reach out to these young people, and then we take them to camp for 8 It's 8 days to be precise, 8 days, where we have a lot of music, we do Bible study, group discussion, counseling, even career counseling, even skill acquisition, a lot of sports, competition. It's always mind-blowing, it's always filled with fun. That at the end of the 8th day, we find our teenagers crying, not wanting to go home, and at the same time having a swell time, really enjoying themselves in the presence of God.
Camp 2011 was a very historic camp. It was also the very first camp that was directed by a camper turned monitor, who was our camp director. This is itself a feat, because there was this camper who was with us in 1992, 1993, and he had some series of camping with us, joined the Solid Foundation Ministry, rose in the ranks amongst his peers, and became the camp director. It was also a very important camp because we broke the soil. We broke that ground. After that camp, we started building. We started out in building to building. That camp was a new beginning for us.
One of our outreaches also is school mission. When we talk about school missions, Solid Foundation Ministry will go to schools, and we are in quite a number of schools. Let me just mention a few of them, then I'll tell you exactly what we do there. When we talk about missions, we're in Christ Redeemer's College, Deborah's, Bobby College, Queen's College, Babcock University High School, Dansol High School, Redeemer's College, Trinity College. So we go as far back, as far as Ogun State, and also that even when Ondo State, sometimes we go. So when we go for school missions, we send in our volunteers, like 10, and then we'll divide the teenagers into various classes, because we realize as a ministry that as the age differs, we also realize the needs and issues also differ. Like what a 13-year-old is facing, the challenges and issues quite different from what a 19-year-old is facing. So we develop our Bible study, we develop our curriculum to actually cater for such needs and challenges. At the end of it all, we're able to handle and solve issues like peer pressures, low self-esteem, even parenting issues, quite a number of things. Even we go deeper as a career counseling, so that to help them, like I said, to help them actually go on to maximize their potentials.
About 9 years ago, Solid Foundation came to my school, Downtown High School, and because of the way they taught us the word in simplicity and in truth, I made some decisions that I'm so proud of today. I can honestly say that I'm a better person because of Solid Foundation.
I came because of Solid Foundation some years ago as a student of Downtown High School. Solid Foundation has helped shape my life tremendously. I got filled with the Holy Ghost as a result of Solid Foundation Ministries. Currently, I volunteer with Solid Foundation Ministries. I'm a better person because of Solid.
Our training program is actually titled Know Them, Love Them, Reach Them. We believe that if you don't know these beautiful people, this set of people that we talk about, our teenagers, if you don't know them, then you may not want to reach them, you may not want to love them. So what we have done is that anyone that has anything to do with the teenagers, teachers, like teachers in schools, parents, and even Sunday school teachers, we organize training for such people to help them to understand these people so that they know them better, the way they reason, their characteristics, what informs their language, their culture, their attitude, everything about them, their way of dressing, everything. And like I said, we want to be the foremost provider of all those, and the reference point for those people in Nigeria and beyond.
Ultimately, all that Solid Foundation Ministry is doing is mobilizing the youth and young people towards creating a better future for a better Nigeria.
If you look at global demographic, you will realize that in Nigeria and Africa at large, the average age is 18 years, which means that half of our population are either teenagers or children who will soon be teenagers. Now, when you compare it to the European population, their average age is over 40 years, which means 15-20 years from now, the African teenager will form a significant part of the global workforce. So the question is, what are we doing today to make our teenagers globally competitive to transform Nigeria and Africa? I believe if we harness the teenagers, bring out their skills, their potential, their abilities, make them globally competitive, that will be the key and the tool God will use to transform Nigeria and Africa at large.
Solid Foundation Ministry is determined to keep making impact in the lives of young Nigerians like you and I. The question is, are you willing?
I can say we need many more hands because I know that there's a lot to do out there. Even in Lagos, there's so many places we've been unable to reach because the harvest is quite huge, but the laborers are few.